Hi everybody. I'm taking the opportunity of recording a little bit today because it's not always easy to get the right light, and it's actually quite nice at the moment, so I'm out here. And I'm calling this one a Woolly Waffle because we've got a Woollen Mills here in our town, which has been here for a long time, and it's actually going to be sold, which is really sad, and we sort of feel that it's not going to be continued as a woolen mill. There's another one at Bendigo, and I think that will keep going, but this one probably won't. Now you might hear a bit of Benny's trying very hard not to bark, but it's now school time really. Oh, and somebody's walking with a dog as well, so yeah, so he's trying so hard, he really is. Anyway, I hope he doesn't disturb you. Anyway, yesterday, well, they're starting to clear out the warehouse, I gather, so they've got a sale there this week, or all week. And it goes, it was to go from 9 till 3, I think, and but normally it opens at 8:30. Well, I was like the good girl, did what I was told, went there at 9, slightly after 9, but I think there must have been a lot of people there at 8:30 because there were a heap of women in there. 2 husbands carrying boxes around for the women to put their wool in. It's cheap anyway, cheaper going to the mill and getting your wool from there, but it was half price of everything, so it really was enormous sale. Anyway, I did very well, and I came out with enough wool for 3 jumpers. And I thought some of you might like to see it because somebody has actually asked. So they're all 8 ply, and I've got enough wool now to knit for the next 3 years at least, I would say. So the first one is this beautiful blue. It's a real cornflower blue, I'd say. It's just gorgeous. So I've never bought wool in a cone like that, but I think there's going to be enough for me. They said not twisted properly. That doesn't worry me. I quite like the texture of that. And then this one, and they're all pure wool. This one is called Australian Superfine Merino. It's a teal. I don't know whether you can see it properly. It is a real teal, I think. And it's not my favourite of all, but I think I might end up putting some white with it and doing a bit of colour work, but I just need a bit of help from my New Zealand guru knitting wonderful girl, but she's otherwise occupied at the moment. So that's lovely. It is so soft. It's beautiful. And then pink one, because I do like pink. There, and excuse me. It is beautiful. But at night time, it almost glows. It just is beautiful. And that's another merino. They call it Merino Magic. So that was my little spree. So I've got 3 jumpers for $100. So pretty well $33 a jumper. But even at $60, it would have been cheap. Probably more like, that was probably half price. So really, I've done very well. But I did have a rather nice little story. One of those stories where things sort of flow, and it did. So I happened to pull up behind a lady in front of me. She was probably 30 years younger than I was, but we're all heading in, cars parked everywhere. And that was fine. And I did my shopping and she did her shopping. Oh, and I ran into an old friend as well. Two of my knitting friends. And as I was leaving, and this lady who pulled up in front of me, she happened to be behind me. Anyway, my friend called out, would like a cup of coffee afterwards, and I said, oh, I'd love one. I'm not doing anything. So I walked back to the car, and this other lady walked back to the car after me, and she was about to return her basket to the mill. So I just wound down the window and I said, oh, are you happy with what you chose? And she said, oh yes. She said, I've come across here from Ballarat, and I'm having 2 nights here, and I'm it's just amazing. And I suddenly thought, I said, would you like to, I'm meeting a friend after this, would you like to come and have a cup of coffee with us as well? And she said, oh, I'd love to. So I explained where to go thanks to Google Maps. And off I went, and then I arrived, and my friend who'd invited me for the coffee, she pulled up and she came in and she said, oh, has Jeanette spoken to you yet? And I looked at her a little blankly, and she said she'd been talking to this lady, and my friend Leslie said, oh, I've got to go, I'm having morning tea with a friend of mine. And the other girl said, yeah, I've got to go too, I'm having morning tea with someone I've just met, Aubrey. And Leslie said, oh, that's who I'm having coffee with. So she came too. So there were the three of us, and there's Benny in the background, I think you can see him. But it was really amazing, because these other two do weaving as well. One of Leslie, my friend, she spins as well. But so this Leslie and my new friend Jeanette, both are spinners, weavers. So they had such a good chat, and they actually had quite a few friends in common, people who they'd met through their weaving. So one of those funny little things when you suddenly get an urge to do something and it works out so well. So it was very successful, and I was very happy, and I had a lovely morning, and then had to do some supermarket shopping at home before I got home. So that was my day yesterday. So it was best morning, and now today I'm off to knitting, and I'll take the wool to show the other girls who didn't go what I got. But I could have got so much more, and I may well go back. They had lovely sock wool there, and I'm sort of starting to get a little urge to knit socks, but yeah, I have to live till at least for another 10 years with good eyesight, or reasonable eyesight, and good light, and fingers that can still do things, and a brain that can still work. So at 83, another 10 years, I don't know whether I'll still be knitting, but I think I've probably got enough wool for then. So, and I actually had a thought last night, if I don't last 10 years, if I only last a couple of years, well, maybe my jumpers that I've knitted for myself, they'll become heirlooms, and they'll go down the line. They might be fighting over who's to have which jumper. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, there's my woolly waffle for today.